Hey guys, welcome back to the Bunkrats podcast. I'm your co-host Alan with other co-hosts.
Ryan.
And Jacob.
Alright, today we're going to be covering on, our fucking, as you might call it, bunk middle school.
Yeah, but before we get to that, we have some stuff to talk about that went down today, boys.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You sounded like you're fucking dying there, cunt.
So our senile old Indian fucking freak spearhead looking ass teacher today, right? Comes in with our tests. And let's get us some background on this, right?
Yeah,
okay. So long story short, we'll touch on all the details and juicy stuff later down the line. But basically, our English teacher got fucking fired.
Yeah.
Or she quit. We don't know specifics, but basically she kind of got
definitely
fired.
got fired.
Well, I'm saying she might have left because she might have known the situation, be like, well, fuck, what am I gonna do?
And given up.
Yeah, that could have been a factor.
Well, anyways, basically she got fired, and so then
we're gonna make an episode about that later down the line.
No, we're gonna cover all these details later on.
It's
in
fucking
episode.
a good story.
It's like 2-3 episodes worth of content, like right
Well,
there.
I don't know about that, but it's good content.
It's definitely a lot.
Bet.
I suppose.
We're stretching this shit out, boys. Anyways, so like, basically, once a teacher get fired, right? We hated her. Sayonara, or as she would say, fucking some French way of saying it, I don't know.
Oh yeah. She basically she claimed to have been born in France, but we're pretty sure she was born in Arizona.
We're gonna touch on this later, all right?
I mean, all right. I thought we could give some basic information, but whatever.
Okay, tell you what, let's
just
go.
say this. No, it's fine. She gone, basically. She gone. She was our English teacher.
All that matters. And so now we went through a transition period, and we got a sub for like 2 weeks, which me and Ryan just watched movies in for the entire day, or entire 2 week period.
Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about the best sub, but I remember he had a sub before that.
That sub obviously had no idea what was going on.
Oh yeah, he was like, "Oh, I don't even know what to give you guys." He's just a paper.
He just sat there the whole period without saying a damn word.
I do not blame him in the slightest.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, so and we got a cool teacher. We'll touch on him in the Pony episode. Oh shit. Whatever. Cut.
In the other teacher episode. In the English teacher episode.
And then we have this new teacher. Oh my god, how do I even start?
She's basically like the V2 version of the old teacher. You can start with that.
She's not as bad, but she's senile and she doesn't know what she's talking about. Okay, so that's all I need to know. We'll touch on her in the English teacher episode. And so basically, she gives us our tests, which we're reading a book.
This teacher, our new sub, she thinks she's funny. She's super weird, and she thinks she's an Indian also.
She what?
She thinks she's a native of America.
She probably has like 0.1% Native American.
Yeah, no, she said like 1/16th. And she's like, yeah, I'm kind of Creek too. There's a joke in the book. It's like, hey, let's take the Creeks with the Creek. She's like, oh, I relate to this so much, guys. You don't understand.
And she always mentions how she's Indian.
This is the middle school episode, not the fuck English teacher episode, alright?
Yeah, but
I know.
You said it yourself. We need to draw it out.
Today.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Okay,
we need content.
She's senile, she's crazy, she doesn't know what she's talking about, she's very confusing. Very, very confusing. And so today she gives us back our test that we took. And so basically, me and my...
That laugh. Sorry.
Me and my boy Ryan, shut the fuck up. Me and my boy Ryan, right? We look at her tests, and right off the bat, I noticed that my score is off.
Hey, no, I was the one who noticed that, cunt.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You were the one that noticed.
She marked 4 wrong, except she wrote -5 on the score.
Yeah, to me too.
And yeah, apparently she did that to like everyone.
She did that to me. I think it said I missed 5 when I missed only 3 or something like that. Or was it Ryan? Do you remember? It was like I missed.
It said you missed 3.
I missed 3, but it said I missed 4. I think. And so
the same goes for Jacob. Basically, it was the same situation.
And this isn't just us. This is like almost every other person.
Entire class.
I know.
Almost the entire class had this issue.
Attention. It's crazy.
Okay, so let's mark that down, right? Not only that, we also find out that one of the answers she marked as incorrect was actually correct, and everyone got it right, but she marked it as wrong.
And
That's
then,
another thing.
And then she was like, she said that she didn't want to go in and change it and to fix it because
quote unquote she'll get in trouble.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Which is absolutely
dumb. She should get in trouble because she fucking messed it up. She deserves to get in trouble.
I don't see the logic behind that.
I know. God. Fucking. It made me fucking laugh at how stupid she was, but it pissed me off too.
Yeah, it's just
me and Ryan were fucking. We were losing it.
We were fucking hysterical, cunt. Oh my god.
Everyone in the class was like, just started laughing out loud. She's like, "Oh, so funny." She probably didn't even know what we were laughing about because she just doesn't understand us. Like we don't understand her.
Oh yeah, she's confusing as fuck too.
She'll say one thing and then immediately contradict herself later, and then we'll be like, "What'd you say?" We're confused. She's like, "How are you confused? I said exactly what I meant to say." And you should
just like her teacher.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We'll touch on it later. So that's kind of what happened. Is there anything else you guys want to add to that?
I mean, not really. That just kind of sums up. I don't want to go too deep into that because we got a lot to talk about.
All right. So where should we start with our retarded
this
middle
brings
school?
us to middle school, the retardation of our middle school. Right.
Oh my god.
There's so many fucking lit stories. Oh my god.
Oh, dude. Alright, so where should we start then? Let's start with the firecracker, because I think that's kind of when everything started.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Well, what grade were we in when that happened?
It was like 7th, I think.
I think it was 6th grade, actually, wasn't it? Oh, no, it was 7th.
No, 6th grade was with, like, the milk cartons in the freaking stall or whatever. I don't really remember.
Oh,
I don't know what.
Did someone pour milk all over the bathroom or something?
I have a short story in 6th grade, right? So this kid, we'll call him Bucky. We'll call him Bucky. And so basically, I was decent friends with this kid, right? Mm-hmm. And so he was known for not really caring. Like he was alright at schoolwork, but he doesn't really care. He would do whatever. And so I tell him, "Hey, grab these scissors, and there's a chick in front of us." And he's like, "Cut her hair." I tell him to cut her hair, and he's like, "All right, bet." He's about to go with the scissors, cut her hair, and the bell's about to ring. So that's why I said we could do it. We can get out. We can do it and get out quick. And so the teacher catches him like 1 inch away from her hair with the scissors in hand.
Oh my god.
And she catches it, and then she's like, "Bucky, come here." And he's like, "What'd I do?" She's like, "I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to cut her hair." And I mean, I didn't see much after that, but I thought it was worth mentioning.
That's funny.
Alright, so then let's go to the firecracker.
Yeah, so who wants to tell it?
I mean,
I didn't experience it that well.
I heard it. Like, I was literally walking to the bathroom. I hear a bang. It's like just a bang, and I was like, "Oh shoot, we're gonna die today." But then I hear, like, "Oh, I saw people running out of the stall," and they're like, "Oh yeah, we just lit off a firework." And I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, basically.
When was this, during lunch?
Basically,
I think it's like during break or something. I don't know.
Yeah, basically, they lit a firecracker in the toilet and blew the toilet up.
Yeah, they had to like repair the bathroom for like a month or two.
That
like ceramic like shell of the toilet freaking exploded.
I saw the inside of it. It was like if like someone tried to climb out, but was like just had to sledgehammer while they're going out. Like pieces were all over the floor. That toilet was excommunicado for like a good 2 months.
Oh my god. Alan here is about to be talking about all the fucking John Wick memes here. We just saw it on Saturday.
You should have went with this, Jacob. It was such a good movie.
He fucking ditched us to play Rainbow.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Oh, you absolutely did.
I didn't even play Rainbow that day.
Yes, you did. You told me you made platinum, cunt. Fucking liar.
It was the day after. Well, I played a little bit. I didn't even play a lot, though. That was like the main game I played.
Okay, Jacob. Okay. Anyways, fucking good movie, but we should probably not talk about that now. So, what's the next story that we're gonna talk about?
What about the other restroom situation with those Like 6th graders.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I can tell this one. So this is something that, you know, we experienced throughout the year. I think this was probably when we were 8th graders.
I think this was.
Yeah. I remember, like,
I don't know if they were
the
6th or 7th
dogs.
graders. Top dogs of middle school. Fuck.
That's what fucking Gomez called us. Oh my god, we should talk about Gomez.
We should, bro. Jacob can't talk about it, but me and you can now.
That was in the other, like, a little psychic person's class.
Is it she off the basket case?
Yeah.
But anyway, so the bathroom thing. So were they 6th graders or 7th graders?
I think they're in 6th grade.
Well, basically, there's these 2 kids. Like, we would be, you know, whenever we're in the bathroom, just at certain times, we'd see them in the bathroom. And basically, you know how it's considered gay to use a urinal stall that's, like, between, like, 2 other ones?
Yeah.
Especially
like,
when
right
there's people in it, you know, because that's just fucking the way it works, apparently. So basically, these 2 kids, there's 2 of them. Were there 2 or 3, actually? There might have been a 3rd one.
I think there's multiple. We couldn't count all of them. There are quite a few.
Oh, well, however many there were. Basically, what they would do is we'd encounter them in the bathroom. And basically, what they'd be doing is they'd be standing in the urinals right next to each other. And they would be standing about 3 feet back from the urinal. And they would be... Basically, they had their pants down, and they would just stare at each other's dicks the whole time they were peeing. No fucking lie, this is legitimately what they were doing the whole time they were peeing.
And at ours, they tried.
Oh yeah, they tried to look at other people's dicks too.
To pee.
I know.
Like
you'd be in one of the side stalls
and court line and just trying to make a couple of fucking shots is what you're describing it as.
Yeah, you'd be like fucking pissing just on the side stall, mind your own business, and you just like one of them would just fucking come up next to you in the stall next to you and start looking at your dick, standing 3 feet back from the urinal, so his dick is completely in view. It was just the fucking gayest thing.
You have something to tell us, right?
Oh
Go over there.
What do you mean, bro? You can't tell me that didn't happen to you.
I didn't because I shielded my eye.
Well, I didn't look, but I knew he was standing 3 feet back.
I also never encountered these kids.
You didn't encounter them? How did
Never.
you not? What the hell? Me and Jacob always did, bro.
I think it was like every lunch break, like every time we went to go to the bathroom, they were always there. Them. Seemed like a coincidence, but I don't know.
But yeah. So what's next? What do we want to touch on?
The corruption present in that school.
The corruption.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I can't really explain this well. I'm not really.
Me neither. I think Jacob.
You got it, Jacob.
I don't know. I think Alan.
I don't really know much about it, to be honest. But
what do you mean by corruption, though?
Well, like,
do you mean
things that went on between the teachers? Mainly.
That's not corruption.
Okay,
that's just. You know,
yeah, I was like, what the fuck do you mean by corruption?
The affair.
Yeah, the affair.
Yes.
So basically, the vice principal, we'll call him Mr. Egghead.
That's what we all called him.
That's what we called him.
Oh,
that's exactly what he looks like. Just imagine in your mind, right, to get a visual of this guy. Just imagine the most pedo man you could ever imagine. Make him a build of like the most slimmest man you've ever seen.
He was tall and skinny.
And he is just bald, like not a single hair.
His head was so fucking shiny, dude. We always made jokes about that shit.
That shit was as reflective as a goddamn solar panel.
Bro, and the weirdest thing was to us, remember how he always wore long sleeves and pants? Remember those couple times that we saw him at school in short sleeves? He had tattoos all on his arms. It was so weird. It was so weird.
This man was a convicted killer, guys.
I wouldn't be surprised.
This man was in an MC, a motorcycle club, boys.
All right, so how would you guys describe the other teacher who was involved in this affair?
So basically, I can talk about this. I had her for 2 years.
I never
There's
had
an English teacher. She was always nice to me, you know, and her class was fairly easy because I'm a smart boy, and so basically,
Good joke.
I would just notice, like, you know, in random intervals of the day, the vice principal would just come in and talk to her for like a couple 5 minutes, whatever. I didn't see it as weird because, you know, sometimes vice principal need to relay information to their teachers. Whatever. It was until later that I heard rumors about them, you know, fucking, right? And so this put into perspective the 5 minute like talks they would have like almost like every week, maybe even more. And so then I'm like, they're just rumors. Maybe it's because they also think the same thing, you know. He'd come in there, talk for 5 minutes, and go out. And so then I never thought much of it. I just, you know, I was like, whatever. And then I'm at the mall with my boy Ryan, or I don't know, it might have been my other friend group.
I don't know if
and I don't know if you were there, but I was with someone, and then I just see fucking my English teacher and Mr. Egghead holding hands walking through the mall with not a care in the world.
And keep in mind they were both married.
They are both married.
Yeah. I forgot about that too.
And they're both married, and I guess now they're divorced and maybe even remarried. I haven't really caught up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they married each other after they fucking left and got fired.
That is not a visual I want in my mind.
Oh my god.
Anyway, dude, and the vice principal guy, dude, I could tell he took his marriage, his failed fucking excuse for a marriage, out on the kids, dude.
Oh yeah, he was a fucking dick.
This guy was a miserable prick.
Oh my god.
But here's the weird thing, right? Like, if you just caught him, like, kind of just alone, you know? Like, usually he's really fucking, like, so much of an asshole. Like, when he's talking, like, kind of school-wide, you know? Mm-hmm. But when you caught him, he was, like, a nice guy, you know? He would just talk to people, be friendly, chat.
Oh,
like,
there was this group of girls that he was kind of too friendly with.
It was really weird.
Old man, he would hang out with them, like, at lunch and shit. It was fucking weird.
And, dude, this guy was feared. If you did something, and if you went into the vice principal's office, you would not come back,
yeah.
dude.
I have another thing. Okay, also, actually, I'm gonna say this. While, like, when the rumors about the affair were going around and shit, they also, like, at break and lunch and shit, you would see them go into, the English teacher's classroom. And they would be in there during lunch, and people always like, I wonder what they're doing. You remember that, right?
It's basically when it like all started sprouting right there.
Yeah.
When people started seeing
that was sketch.
Something's going on.
I never saw that before, but you know, whatever.
Oh.
And I've seen it like many times.
I also have something to say about Mr. Egghead. So
dude, I have a personal experience with Mr. Egghead I will touch on.
Oh later. Yeah, that one's good.
We'll talk about that after.
Well, I guess we can talk about that. Not only that, but Mr. One, I guess you guys never found out about.
Oh, well, let me talk about mine real quick. So, there's two people that went to our school, and yeah, so basically, what should I call them? Or I'll just call them person 1 and 2. So, person 1, I don't know how this happened, but basically, I think they were kind of like mad at each other, and so person 1 hacks into person 2's Chromebook. We all had Chromebooks. I'm sure you guys probably have them too. But
I think
we still have them now. But yeah, so person 1 hacks into person 2's Chromebook, basically gets in his account, and he sends a porn video to Mr. Irvin from his account.
Like, you check this, just confirm.
Yeah, hold up. But yeah, so he basically he sent a porn video to the vice principal from this other guy's account.
Oh no!
I know, bro. It was so bad. Yeah, they got in big trouble, and it was just fucking hilarious.
Dude, they put it in desk. It's the same two people.
I got it. Just go. Talk about yours.
Okay, so basically, one of my personal experiences, right? So, basically, I don't remember like what day or whatever, but I remember I think I was late for a science class. Like, I was 5 minutes late or something like that because I had to go to the bathroom, and like there was another kid in there, and so I come in late. And and so then, anyways, so then I get called in at like 4th period to the vice principal's office, and then teacher just says, "Oh, you're going to the vice principal's office," and I am shitting bricks, dude. I'm pissing myself because, like I said, this man was feared. If you went in, you weren't coming back out. You might as well be dead.
A changed man.
You came out a changed man, or not a man at all. I'll tell you what. So I go in there, right? I'm like, I go up to them. I'm like, I'm here, vice principal. She's like, oh yeah, you must be on. Go ahead. And so basically, I go in. I'm like, what's up? What am I here for? He's like, oh, you were like gone for like 5 minutes in Mr. Scholl's Mr. whatever's science class, and he's like, where were you? I was like, oh, I was just in the bathroom. Some kid was also in there. I just need to use it back. And he was like, oh, all right, well, take this slip to Mr. Scholl's and tell him you. Well, take it to the science.
Sorry, you just cut out.
Oh, perfect. Anyways, so just take it to his class and turn it in, and you'll be good. And so, I'm walking back. I give it to him. Like, vice principal told me to give this to you. He's like, oh yeah, here. And I go back to my fourth period class. Like fucking hell, it was a traumatizing experience, even though nothing happened.
Well, it seemed like he was nice there.
He was. Yeah. He was there.
He's actually a pretty chill dude when you're.
No, but the stigma around him and how he was so feared just makes.
Yeah. Well, he was fucking harsh.
Like, remember that time when you're like wielding a stick? And
yeah. I was gonna get to that.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so me and this other kid, we'll call him person.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Okay.
We'll call him person A, right? And so basically, we got 2 sticks and we're just fucking around like sword fighting, right? No harm was being done. We were just playing around, and so then Mr. Egghead.
Whoa, you into that sword fighting?
I ain't into that cockfighting gay bullshit, alright?
I said sword fighting, alright? Don't twist my words.
I'll twist whatever I want, bitch.
Oh.
Anyways. I ain't gay. Anyways, where was I? Alright, so we're sword fighting, and Mr. Egghead sees this, and I just hear, hey, you two, go to the office right now! And I was like, well, shit, what do I do now? See, it was like in the last episode I mentioned, it was like 2 choices. So there was 2 choices, right? My dumb idiot brain decided to go.
It cut out. Can you repeat that?
Oh my god.
What do you want me to do about that? It's Alan's fault. He has a bad connection.
I don't. My connection's fine.
My connection's fucking godly. So.
I doubt it is.
It is, bro. You want to see? My internet speed is 200 megabytes.
Oh my god, we shouldn't interrupt. We have
so shut the hell up.
No, I'm leaving. Fuck this.
Alright, fuck this.
Go. Oh no.
Alright, go.
So we're cutting this out, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, so then, anyways, he's like, go to the office right now. And in my mind, like I said, this is in a game where in slow motion you only have 2 decisions.
This is the same thing you said last episode, Alan.
Yeah,
I just mentioned that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
When did you mention that?
Last episode, like you just said. Oh my.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You did it last episode.
I know, and I said I did it last episode. I'm using it as an analogy because that's just how my. Right?
Well, it cut out then because I didn't hear it. It did not come
through.
Oh my
god.
I can prove it if you fucking want because it did not come through.
Alright. Like I said last episode, my brain, two choices, slow motion. Right? My dumb idiot brain decides there's only 2 choices in this matter. It's either go to the fucking principal's office and get fucking wrecked, right? Or I could just not go at all and see what happens. And so my dumb idiot brain decides to go with the latter. And so basically I avoid him for like, I go off and I'm like hiding behind this pillar, making sure I'm avoiding him. Like fucking solid snake dude. Sneakiest motherfucker on the planet. And so basically, lunch ends and I'm just terrified because I was like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just gone and explained that we were just having fun and playing around. And the entire day I was just so paranoid. Whenever a teacher would get a call, I'd be like, oh shit, that's me. I'd be shitting bricks. I'd be like, shit, yeah, I wasn't shaking, but you get the point. And I went the entire day. Turns out he just forgot about it. So technically, you could just be like, I'm not gonna go, and he'll forget about it. But I kind of didn't know. So there's that.
No, remember there was the same thing. Remember when Aiden did that? I don't remember what it was that he got in trouble for. But basically, he was doing something, and then Mr. Egghead was like, Aiden, go to the office now! And, yeah, basically Aiden decided not to, and he was fucking avoiding Mr. Egghead for, like, a couple weeks. We'd just be fucking running around to different spots on campus trying to avoid him. It was fucking hilarious. By the way, we're gonna have some more stories about Aiden.
There will be a different episode.
Yeah, we're gonna tell some stories about him, but we're also gonna make an episode later on.
Yeah.
And we'll have him on too. We'll have him on as a guest.
Because this guy is, I don't even know how to describe.
There's no word to describe Aiden.
Aiden is just Aiden in the dictionary.
Oh my god.
Alright,
should we talk about the Reaper?
The Reaper?
No. Let's get on to that later.
Carolina Reaper.
No. That's for the end of the year.
Oh, what about the hook?
Hold on. We could tie that into the cafeteria stuff later.
Oh yeah, true.
I want to touch on the pedophile.
Oh. Wait. Should we go with the hook first, Jacob? You remember that? Jacob?
Oh, the hook. No. I'm talking about the hook.
Why not?
That's for his episode.
Alright. Yeah, actually, that's probably good to say for his episode. You're right.
Do you guys want to put in disc what that is?
You don't know what that
is. You know the hook?
It's way too long to just type, so we can tell you later if you want, but... How do you
just type it in and I'll look at it,
no,
alright?
I'm not fucking typing it.
Why?
Because I don't want to, cunt. Now move on.
Alright, Jacob, just type it in for me.
Oh my god.
Just move on, cunt. Oh my god.
Alright, so the pedo, right? Oh god, I mean,
wait, should we start with the other teacher first? The black one? The African American one?
Yeah. We'll rant.
Sorry, excuse my non-political correctness, guys.
What was the non-political correct word?
I said black guy instead of African American.
That's fine.
That's so dumb.
I know, it was fucking a joke. Chill. Oh my god.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're right. I don't. You know what? We'll get into like that kind of stuff later on. Anyway.
On PC.
Yeah.
Not right, this episode.
I mean, this guy wasn't that bad. He was just.
He was really fucking weird and confusing.
I mean, I don't. Sorry, so do you want to go ahead and?
Well, basically, he was just like. He was very, very vague with his instructions on assignments, and when you would ask him a question, he would not give you an answer. Like, he would say some random bullshit that made absolutely no sense and confused you even more. So you're left walking away like, what the fuck? And you still have no idea what you're supposed to do. And yeah, basically people ended up fucking failing a lot of projects and shit we had to do because no one knew what the fuck was going on.
What's weird is I never failed him.
Yeah, I never failed either.
Yeah, me either. But he always like came there when we're doing an assignment. He's like, I'm like, hey, what are we supposed to do? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, he'd always be like, I don't know.
How am I supposed to?
I don't know. That was exactly how he fucking said it too. We had him in 7th grade, right? Yeah, that was 7th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade.
And the fucking thing was when me, Jacob, and Alan here, we went with another one of our friends to go see Endgame, and so, by the way, we picked. My family, my mom had to go.
No. Let me tell this from my perspective, right?
Oh, all right.
So,
yeah, that's probably better.
We're gonna go see Endgame, right? And Brian's apparently, his parents picking us up, and I expect like, their family car or whatever. So, I'm just preparing for that. And so basically, I walk out and I go to my gate because my place is gated. And so I walk out and I see like what looks like his family car, and I start walking towards it. And so then I just hear
on the curb. It's parked on the curb.
Yeah,
right? It's
parked on the curb, and then I hear, oh, over here. I turn to my left and I see Ryan there, and behind him I see a white van. And I'm like, what the fuck? You want to pick it up from there?
Yeah. So basically, what happened was my mom. I'm not gonna really explain her profession, but she had a white van that she had rented.
That's so bad.
That sounds sketchy. Sorry, that sounds sketchy. Okay, basically, she had to drive a bunch of people somewhere, not fucking slaves or prisoners or whatever. Okay, I swear it's not sketchy. I just don't want to talk about what she does. At least not at the moment.
Ryan's parents are fucking human traffickers, guys. Oh, 911.
Yeah, but basically she had to drive some people somewhere, and it was like a day trip. And so it was the next morning. It was the day before we went to see Endgame. So the next morning she had to drop it off. She's like, "Hey, I know we're supposed to pick your friends up. Why don't I just pick them up? Like, why don't we just pick them up and I'll drop them and then I'll go return this." And so I was like, "Oh yes, this is perfect. I'm gonna." And remember, I told you free candy too, right? When I opened the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna roll up to my friend's house. And I'm gonna be like free candy. And it was fucking amazing. And yeah, so she dropped us off in that. But basically, the reason I mentioned it was because when we were going to go see the movie, we were all in the van, and we're driving by, and we see the teacher we just talked about. I'm not. Should we give him an alias?
Yeah,
whatever.
sure.
Yeah, we just won't. The teacher we just talked about. We saw him in his car, and he was driving behind us, and it was just so weird because it's like 3 years later. And he had a beard and stuff, and we're like, "Oh damn,
yeah,
is
he's
that
all
Mr.
like roughed
So-and-so?
up and everything."
Yeah, I was like, "Oh shit, brother," and yeah, it was cool.
When you drove up to my house and that thing, I was like, "Oh my god, I think today's the day I'm gonna get kidnapped or something." And he's like, opens the door, and there's Ryan. He's like, "Hey, come in with his van."
I like free candy. Oh, that was amazing.
So then, should we touch on the other teacher now?
Yeah, we're on the topic of teachers, so we might as well move on to the next one there.
Let's call
Wait, no. Let's talk about the art teacher first. The original art teacher we had. When we
yes.
I didn't have her, so this is only
Jacob didn't have her, but me and Alan can talk
Ryan,
on
what
this.
grade did you have her?
I had it 7th, both years.
Okay, so then I should talk about it.
Yeah.
So basically, from my perspective, one day, and to give some background on this art teacher, dude, she's also senile, dude.
She was.
Apparently, dude, she kids were getting so loud, she had to bring in like a fucking speaker.
Yeah, basically,
with a
she
microphone.
couldn't. Yeah, the class was fucking wild, and she couldn't get anyone to shut the fuck up. And yeah, it got to the point where first she brought a whistle that she would blow.
Yeah. And so then that didn't work.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And so she bought her with fucking like big speaker. You would like see at the and she had a microphone hooked up there.
You cut out again.
Oh my. Okay, so basically, she had a fucking like big ass speaker. You'd see that like the swap meets. If you ever been to one, you know what I'm talking about. And she had that hooked up to a microphone, and so basically she would just talk through that. It was the loudest
thing. And she would fucking yell at us through it too. Yeah. And still no one would shut the fuck up.
If she spoke, it was fine. You could hear her, but she would fucking yell at us. Dude.
It was amazing, bro.
I know.
Yeah, and then and then tell her about when some kids locked her in the.
Okay, hold on. So, right, and because I have her 4th, and I can't, which was my 3rd.
You're cutting out a lot right now. Shit.
Oh my god.
You are.
Yeah. See.
You fix something.
Am I cutting out now?
I don't know. Are you on data or on Wi-Fi?
I'm on Wi-Fi.
You have good reception? Because if you have good reception, the Wi-Fi might be better.
I have 4 bars.
Try that and see if it's any better.
I'm not gonna use my data because it's gonna take a lot.
It's not gonna take that much for a call. Whatever. Al.
Is it fine?
It seems to be right now, but it's gonna be off and on.
I don't care. Anyways, so I have her 4th and my PE period, which was right before that 3rd, and so we come in and I don't. This has been a couple years, so I might get some of this wrong, but I think we come in and I think she's crying. And so everyone just sits down, and she's just crying at her desk, and everyone is just fucking befuddled, dude. We're confused. Befuddled. We're like, what the hell is going on? And so she gets up, she's like, guys, there's not gonna be an assignment today. I'm just not feeling up to it. And so then I didn't figure out this later. Well, actually, no. I'll get to that part later. Basically, she's like, those fucking kids. I'm sorry to cuss. Those fucking kids. They're so disrespectful to me. They're cussing me out, doing all this and that. And then, class goes by, and she's just fucking having a mental breakdown. Like, she's just cussing, not like at us, but she's just cussing the whole situation. And that kind of sums it up, She just says that they were being disrespectful and cussing at her, all this stuff. And so then, that period, or no, I think the vice principal comes in and they talk for, but I don't know what. And so basically, we go to the next period. And Ryan, did we find out at lunch what happened?
I don't remember when it was, but.
Well, okay, so then we find out that she was escorted off campus because she was having a mental breakdown. And I think there was a video, or was there a picture? I can't remember.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't know there was either.
I thought there was like a picture of her getting escorted.
I don't know.
I don't know. So basically, then we find out she gets escorted off campus, and then Ryan, did you find out in your 7th what happened or before? Do you at least know at the end of 7th what happened?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so then you do want to tell your perspective?
Well, I honestly don't remember what the class was like that day, but basically, should I just tell what happened?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, so well, I don't know if I have the whole thing or not, but basically, there's in the art room, there's like this storage room in the back, and she went in there to get something, I think, and basically the class fucking locked her in there, and so she was stuck in there, and I don't know how long she was in there, and I don't know if they did anything else, like because it sounded like she was getting cussed out too, like they were cussing at her and stuff, according to what Alan says. Is that right, Alan? Alan?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, they basically locked her in there, and then after that, like he said, she got escorted off campus and she quit. So
I'm pretty sure she got fired. She didn't quit.
No, I think she quit.
Yeah.
Why would she get fired?
I'd quit after that.
Why would she get fired?
Students lock me in the classroom.
I know. I would quit for sure.
Why would she get fired? They're all like disrespectful.
I don't know, because I heard she cussed at him or something.
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty damn sure she quit. But it doesn't really matter. Basically, we never saw her again after that. So, why do you guys keep muting?
So we don't disrupt, Curtis.
I had to take a piss.
Oh my god. Wait, have we talked about the math teacher yet?
We're getting there. We're actually.
Is there any other teachers we want to talk about? Like
Miss
hold on, let me think.
Mr. Mexican. Mr. Mexican?
Ooh, should we go with Mrs. Cunt from 6th grade or Mr. Mexican from
Mrs. 8th? Cunt from 6th grade? Who's that?
Everyone hated her. I think you should know.
Oh, well, I have zero experiences with her.
Yeah, and she was always kind of nice to me, so I guess we'll touch on that. Basically, rundown is Mrs. Cunt was just a cunt to everyone. And so, also, another story is apparently she didn't come with the panties one class, and so she sat down, like, in the front of the class.
Oh, yeah. She always dressed all slutty. I know that.
Yeah. Well, did she come with no panties, or did she come with, like, see-through things?
I think it was see-through.
Okay. Yeah, see-through stuff.
I wasn't in her first, so apparently she came in with like fish or like what is it called, fishnets or whatever.
Yes.
And you could see her fucking panties, and apparently it was fucking disgusting. I don't want to know, and I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't. So basically, she had to go home and get like fucking new pants or something.
Yeah.
And so that's just her. And so then we could talk about Mr. Mexican.
Yeah, Mr. Mexican.
Another teacher I didn't have.
Yeah.
I was blessed with the teacher who was talked to.
Dude, but it was so amazing in that class.
Yeah, that class was fucking
amazing. Yeah. What are you gonna see to get the kick out of the... Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Okay, so which story about it should we tell first? Should we tell the...
No, but let's tell that story.
Yeah, I'm saying which story about it though. There's the thing with the phone case, or with when the guy yelled.
Oh, okay, what are the other ones?
Or when the guy yelled that thing, and he's like, "Do you got that out of your system now?"
Oh, no, let's.
Huh?
So keep going. Just keep telling. All right.
Okay. Well, let me just say those two stories.
Okay.
So, actually, you're probably better to tell the phone case one.
Yeah, because I found the phone case.
Yeah, I'll tell the other one.
When we were going to the bus stop, right, I just see this phone case. Further, my fucking dumb idiot, brain just decides to take it for whatever reason, and it's like it's like what would you call it? Like rubber?
Yeah, it was.
I don't know.
Rubber.
I guess you basically describe it.
It could be easily bent.
Yeah, it was like one of those things where you could flap it
was
around.
floppy. Yeah, that's what it was.
And so
that's the best word.
So I give it to this kid.
I already know where this is going.
What should we call this kid?
Let's call him fucking Buster.
Alright, I mean that seems like a fitting name. Buster, right? Should we get a visual on this kid? Because I think it was way better if we got a visual.
If you want to describe him, go ahead.
So basically, it's like this fat kid. Would you say I think he was bigger than?
Yeah, I think he was too.
And so he was bigger than me, and he was just the kid that also didn't give a fuck what you would do.
Yeah.
So basically, during class, I'd give it to him, and he's like, and then he just starts flopping it around. It just sounded like he was trying to bust a fat nut.
Yeah, he had it under the desk, and he was fucking flopping it. It sounded like he was fapping under the desk.
And so then he would put it under the desk, and he would just do it like that. And he'd be like, 5,000, 6,000, you know, like that, keep going up and up. And so it got so loud. I don't know if Mr. Mexico heard it or not. I never saw that phone case ever again. I was very incredibly sad about it because it would have gotten some great shit out of that.
Yeah. All right, then I'll tell that other story. This is the same kid, by the way. It was Buster again. So basically, it was the beginning of class. We all just walked in, and we were all like talking because it was like we just come in from lunch. We had it fifth period, or no, yeah, fifth period, which was after lunch back then. Now it's before, but back then it was after. And so we'd all just come in from lunch, and we were all like, you know, still talking to each other and shit. And basically, it was pretty loud. But then the teacher, Mr. Mexico, he starts quieting us down. He's like, "Okay, guys, quiet, blah blah blah." And so right as the classroom gets quiet, Buster, he yells, 420! Right, and like, he did it right as the classroom fell completely silent. He does it. And there was just the awkward fucking silence of the teacher just staring at him. And then he's like, Buster, you got that out of your system now? And that shit was so funny.
You and I were hysterical. Oh my great.
Oh, he couldn't have done it at a better time either, because it was right when it fell silent.
So that was basically our science class, right, for 8th grade. And so then I had...
Okay.
Well, is there another story?
I was gonna say, you
let's
could tell
the lit one.
Huh?
What about the lit one? Is that what we're gonna talk about?
I was gonna say you could talk about Big Titty Girl, what she said to him.
That's in STEM class, so we'll get to that later.
Okay.
And so basically, we were doing this thing in science where, like, we had a light bulb, and we put it in the middle of the room, we turn all the lights off. It's supposed to be like the sun revolving around the Earth or something like that. And so
I remember that. That was like at the end of the year.
And so basically, like, he would always like, it's really lit in here. And so this kid, let's call him Bill.
Wasn't
Bill?
Wait, I thought it was the same person.
No. It was Bill, and he would laugh every time Mr. Mexico would say lit. So basically, Mr. Mexico said, "Well, Bill, why does it seem like you get a kick out of the word lit every time I say it?" And dude, I just start losing it. Dude, it was so great. And Bill just like also loses it. He says, "Why do you seem to get the kick out of when I say the word lit?" And the way you said it, dude, oh my god, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And so, you have a story in that class?
No, it's a different class.
Okay, so basically then, move on to STEM class, which I guess he also teach, which was also a great class. Couple stories in there. I don't know if I remember them all, but basically, there was this chick. We'll call him
Big Titty Girl.
No.
Oh my god.
No. We're definitely not gonna call her that. We'll call her Megan.
All right.
Megan. She every day she would just annoy Mr. Mexico with obnoxious, or like obnoxious, annoying, or just downright racist questions. So one of the best ones we ever got out of that was we fucking wait. What did I call her again? Megan, right? Megan. Megan just asked Mr. Mexico, and he's Mexican. That's why we're calling him Mr. Mexico, right? She asked Mr. Mexico, "Are you legally here?"
Oh yeah.
And then Mr. Mexico just says, "Yes, Megan. I have papers." Oh my god.
That's amazing, bro.
And then this Megan is so dumb. Another story about her, we were also in the same class, and she was like, "Oh, what'd she say?" It was like, "Oh man, my lung hurts." And she was like holding her hands over her stomach. Like, down in her stomach. Like, "Oh man, no, it was, ow, my kidney hurts." And she was holding at like her upper chest, like right next to her armpit. She's like, "My kidney. Kidney cancer," or some shit like that. And we're like, "Megan, you're retarded. Your kidneys are down here, not up here." So should we, I think pretty much the same.
I had the story to tell about Mrs. Bird.
Oh wait, can I tell one more story?
Oh, go ahead.
So we were watching a video in in the STEMS class, right? And so we have this kid, well, guys, just come up with a name.
Call him, I don't know, just call him Tom or something.
Alright, so Tom, right? Me and Tom, we're kind of like, we're not, we're friendly, we're in class, because, it was like we were usually in groups and we had no one else to talk to, so we just talk shit like that. And so basically we were watching like a video which somehow pertained to the STEM class. And so at one point,
you told me about this. Okay. No, that was in the regular science class.
Oh, I thought it was in STEM.
I'm pretty sure it was the regular science class. Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Well, the two classes were so similar, he might as well have been teaching the same thing.
Honestly, yeah, from what you told me, that's what it seemed like.
It's absolutely what he did. He just copied the lesson plan and changed the words around. And so, basically, he was showing us a video, and then there was a cop, and so I was like, "Oh, it's like the border patrol," and because Mr. Mexico, Mexican. And so then there's this helicopter shot, and it's like going through mountains, like searching. I just say to Tom, I'm like, "They're looking for Mr. Mexico," and me and him just start dying. It was so bad, dude. That's kind of my story in there.
Alright, so I have a story about Miss Bird. Do you know who that is?
Do you want to type in?
Well, you can tell by the name. Whose name related to a bird?
I know who.
I think I might know who. Just confirm mine. Okay, yep. I get it.
Okay.
Oh man. Yep.
Okay, this was in. Was it? No, it couldn't have been 6th grade. Okay, this
was in 8th. Are you
no.
debate
What
class?
I'm talking about, huh?
Are you talking about debate class?
Wait, the what?
The debate class.
Oh no, not that. I'm not talking about that.
Why not? It's fucking funny.
That's because I never was in it.
Oh well, me and Jake. No, I think you're in there, but Jake.
No, I definitely wasn't. I know that for a fact.
Me and Jake, we could definitely talk about it.
Well, no, I have a different story.
Okay, well you tell it then.
So,
I think I know what this story is.
Honestly, I don't know if you know or not actually, but it's honestly kind of embarrassing. But I'm gonna tell it for the sake of the laughs. I'm telling it for the sake of the laughs.
Okay, so, no, definitely what this is.
You guys here. I'm gonna type the name for you guys. You guys remember him?
Crawling?
You guys remember him?
Yep. Okay, I know exactly what this is.
Yeah.
So let's call him. What should we call him?
I hate this kid. Like, he was nice, but I hated him.
Oh, you did? Bro, I liked him. He was funny.
Yeah, he was funny, but to give a little background on the kid, what should we call him? Yeah, we should call him for the sake of just calling him whatever.
Let's call him. I don't know. What do we call him? Rob.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Rob, right? He lived in my neighborhood, so basically
he lived in all of our neighborhood. We all lived in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, we lived in the same neighborhood.
Whatever. And so basically, at like 10 or 11 in the fucking morning, when summer break, and I'm trying to fucking sleep, he'd come over, he'd knock on my window, really fucking loud, and I'd be like, "What the fuck?" I'd be like, "What the fuck? I'm trying to sleep." He's like, "Hey, can we play some Call of Duty Zombies?" Because he didn't have a...
Really?
He wanted to play with me. And so he'd come over at 10 and 11, and I tell him the same fucking thing every day. Come back later. Damn, was asleep.
He always went over to my house because he didn't have that stuff. He's like, "Hey, you want to play some video games with, bro? What all you come over here for?"
All right, so.
Oh my god.
Is there anything else we should talk about, or do we want to move on to
the debate thing?
The debate.
I took no part in this.
Jacob, you got this. You don't got much. You got this, brother.
So. We have this debate club we usually go to, and yeah, it's one of our little,
well, it was like one of our free, because basically the school did this thing where if you're good, you could pick a period, like just like on like a Friday they would go to. It was like, you know, at once a month, and you just go with your friends.
Oh yeah, that was the thing we talked about with the kendamas before in the last episode. How people chose to do kendamas. It was the same thing, but it was
so basically we chose a debate club because we talked about, you know, politics, shit like. Nothing
out.
Really.
You cut out.
You cut out.
Okay, so basically, we picked the debate club because, you know, we want to do our friends, and we are all kind of like on the same side of the, you know, political.
I don't know why I didn't do it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was funny.
It was pretty good.
And so, do you guys want to say our political?
If you want,
we'll save that for a different episode if we have a time.
Okay. All right. So basically, the politically, right? You know, us, and then there was
keep cutting out. Cunt.
Yeah.
Right, or Jacob, you tell us. Fuck it, you tell it.
Yeah.
So we were with our group of friends. We all have the same political view, right? But originally, we went to this like cool teacher's class, like this history teacher for our little debate club.
Oh yeah.
I guess things got changed. We went to Miss Bird's class for debate club, and this is when it started going south. And you know, she has like pretty bunch of polar opposite views of the original teacher we went to, so it was kind of a little bit different.
And polar opposite views of ours too, pretty much.
It was very one-sided.
Yeah, and then she's always in there, and we have we'll just call this dude Brock or something, this alpha male.
Oh, he's Chad. No, just call him Chad.
Yeah, let's call him Chad. He's the alpha. He's a little Chad. Then he's all like, "Oh, I got an idea." We're like combating some like idea. I don't freaking know.
Like wait, what was the topic?
It's about like internment camps and.
Yeah. Oh. It was the internment camps back in like 1930s when we like in the World War II. Oh right, we were in World War II, and we were putting the Japanese in internment camps.
Okay. Yeah, but anyways, Chad is like comes out with a good idea that we all collaborated on together, and then he says it to Miss Bird. Miss Bird's like, "Why are you guys all following him like lemmings? You guys would jump off a cliff if he jumped off a cliff." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
It was very obvious. She was very one, and so then
You should add that you guys were destroying them in debate, weren't you?
Yeah, we destroying
Oh my god, dude, we are destroying the cunt. And so basically, at the start, she's like, "Shut up! Don't collaboration until you pick your side of the debate." So then we pick our sides. We were just destroying them. Jay, you want to pick it up from here? I don't remember much.
And then their side consisted of people just like clapping. You know how people like clap when they talk a certain.
No, that was a different one. That was a different time. That was in the other history teacher's class.
Oh yeah, whatever, but. Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, trust me, this isn't one-sided. I'm on both of your sides. Don't worry." And so she's clearly on the
one-sided,
opposing side. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, God.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for that. I don't really know anything else.
Okay. Then I think we should move on.
I'm wondering. Pretty much the main event. We're an hour in here, so I'm wondering if we should cut this and make this. Like with the rest of what we're going to tell another episode?
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, guys. I'll just outro it then, I suppose. So, thank you guys. We're going to cut the episode here. There'll be a part 2. This will be part 1. This is going to be a part 2 of the middle school.
Are we going to put these up twice a week?
We'll put it up probably. I think we should keep it at maybe once a week. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, whenever this goes up, it'll be a week from the day this goes up that the next one will be out. So this is part 1. Next will be part 2, with the rest of these stories. And trust me, you want to tune into the next one because we saved some of the best for last.
Yes, the best is definitely saved for last.
You think our story this fucking? Oh my god, they don't compare.
This doesn't. Yeah, honestly, there's the one teacher that we're about to talk about that honestly will make a whole episode. a whole episode.
Listen, we'll just call him, just to give you a hint, Mr. Pedo, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, a little taste there. So make sure you tune in next week, boys.
Thanks if you want to learn about Mr. Pedo.
Yeah. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye,
guys. See you guys later.